The river continues. Welcome back once again to the Mucky Mammoth. Some say we never leave. They both have clothing. That's it? While those two gentle beasts kept things under control aboard the Mucky Mammoth, I went ashore with the rest of the crew to make use of a public telephone. I called into my answering machine, which I routinely neglect for intervals of months, to chip away at the pile. Kate checked in on a client of hers. She's a birth doula, in addition to being a tugboat captain. Did you know that? Clara talked to her sister in Lithuania. Illness in the family, I gather. Anyway, the evening hit a low point not much later on, so let's take a quiet moment here to listen to the river and reflect on the unburdened sleep of dogs. They both have little pieces of clothing. One wears a little bandana and one wears a hat. But they did nothing with that section, unfortunately. Aww. Shannon, Ezra, and the old man and I stopped at Radvansky Center to make some quick cash. To make cash? In what way? Have I heard of the Radvansky Center before? Good morning. Bags isn't feeling well. Long night. Poor kitty. What are you watching? Security tape from last night. Daryl left the lights on again. Should we slash his tires? I'll leave a stern note on his desk. Spare the rod. What are we doing today? Right, this is weird. You know that old vending machine? The one that only has tomato juice? No. The old one they just stopped refilling. Remember we rolled it out into the dock last August and some scavenger stripped it for metal in the middle of the night? Daryl cut his hand cleaning up after them. And it got infected, remember? No. Okay, well... Anyway, the rest of it ended up in the coat until... Finally... in the coat room until finally Daryl was piling it into a big bag for the trash barge to pick up, and came across this box lost behind all the junk. Check it out. This looks old. Yeah. There's a bunch of videotapes and completed questionnaires. I looked up the reference number, and it's never been processed, so I guess that's what we're doing today. There's no date on it. We'll just have to make one up. Unless there's some footage of a calendar or something in here. Flipping through the questionnaire. I guess there are the old tests before we started doing the video exit interviews. That's annoying. Yeah, let's see. How did we do this? I'll run the tape, you interpret the questionnaire, and I'll type it up. Whoa. So this is like the distant future or something? Like at this point it's like some super old tape being found in a box that shows Shannon. But that's by the distant future I mean the framing device. This is present time right now. This is us walking into this place to apparently make some money. The modernist bookshelf with a fancy vintage turntable. So ostentatious, so Daryl. What? That was my bookshelf. Oh no. But you, like, grew out of it or something, right? It ended up in the lab somehow. I keep my books in a pile now. It's easier to find what I'm looking for. Never, what shelf is that book on? Only, well, it's somewhere in that pile. Pragmatic. I guess. I suppose. I mean, it was always somewhere on the bookshelf, right? I mean, that's the whole shelf right there. That's not that many. Wow. I haven't seen that poster in a while. I think that was mine from college. Yeah, definitely. Oh, right. Daryl swapped it out with the in the redesign. Now it's... What's there now? Yeah, it's... That's weird. I can't picture it. I mean, I can picture the wall. There's definitely something hung there. That's gonna bug me. Want me to go look? It's just down the hall. No, it's okay. It's gonna bug her, though. It's gonna keep bugging her. Meanwhile, we're watching Shannon look at the stuff. But we're not even acknowledging her so far, which makes it weirder. Oh, freaky. It's like a set. This should be some basic information. The first control test. Subjects... Oh, we're making money in a, trial or whatever it's called. Like a scientific trial sort of thing. We're doing an experiment and getting paid for it. So probably a behavioral test or something. Subject's general disposition? Jen looks over the questionnaire document from the envelope. Question. Why are you here? The other passenger said we could make some quick cash taking these tests. Pragmatic. Demographic category? What's the first thing you remember? I remember a bird cage. Mid-20s. Do you think we should use the old categories or the new categories? Oh, right. Will the computer even still take the old ones? They're still in the menu. Okay, in that case, put in precarious. This is funny that we presumably made money doing this test, but the data didn't even get processed. It just got thrown in a box somewhere. Sure. Oh, I forgot. Name? It says Marquez on the file. Whoa, Marquez, are you sure? That's what it says. Do you know her? That can't be... No, that's not her. Did she come alone or with a group? I don't know. There's an extended monitoring tape here, too. We could check on the dock when she showed up. Ooh. Does Shannon have a reputation now in the future? Is there fallout for what happened today? Oh, it's... Wait, who is that? The guy in the hoodie. What? I've never seen him before. Really? He looks so damn familiar. I thought maybe he was a former intern or something. He's a little old for that, right? No. I don't recognize him, sorry. Your old deja vu this morning, it's spooky. Sorry, just one of those days, I guess. No, definitely not. Oh, she's traveling with one of those creepy distillery guys. Him? Nah, he just looks like some old drifter. Maybe you're right. It's hard to tell in this light. Wow. So people can see the limbs, right? Even though people keep not acknowledging them? Because, like... He was just identified... Conway was just identified as being a distillery guy. What would you identify that on, based on anything besides the limbs? Are these ceiling fans outside? That's the water right there. This feels like a weird place for ceiling fans to be. There's like moss hanging from the ceiling everywhere. It's always represented by diamonds, the vegetation. Ha! I guess the old man's on dinghy guard duty. A noble assignment. So who was this lady? Oh, right. Well, do you remember WEVP TV? No. Okay, it was a community television station. The Consolidated Power Company had to fund it as is. Fund it as like a punishment for owning too much of the broadcast spectrum or something. Oh, they used to screen your videos, right? Yeah. It was like a co-op. I did some maintenance, they gave me a slot to show my work. And they had that naked banjo guy late at night. Yeah, that's mainly what everyone remembers. I guess their whole mandate was community expression. He was certainly expressive. Oh wait, was WEVP the one that... The flood, right? Yeah. Damn. So Shannon Marquez, did she have a naked banjo show too? What? No. Let me guess. Question. Which of the following sentences best describes you? I'm haunted, unable to forget. She had an exercise show? No, I've never heard of Shannon Marquez. It was Weaver Marquez that I knew. She worked at the station for a bit, and then she left on kind of weird terms, actually. Anyway, where were we? That's her sister. She's closer than she thinks she is. Okay, how do we rank her from the control test? Question. Without turning around to look, please describe the following objects. Bookshelf. It has 3 shelves. It's shaped like a snake. It reminds me of a museum. Poster. I remember circles. I have a poster in my workshop, a chart of resistor values. Lighting. Just kind of dim? Average, I guess. Average, okay. The room around her change? Or is this a new room? Did they move her or everything around her? There's a pear, a strawberry, an apple, an orange, I think. How many pictures did she remember? 2, or actually maybe 3. What? She wrote down orange, strawberry, guava. Guava? I think she meant pear. See, that's why I hate this test. There's so much fruit that basically looks just like other fruit. Oh, guava. Does a guava even look like a pear, though? I don't think I've ever seen a guava. I thought they were pink. They're just pink on the inside. You wouldn't confuse a real guava for a real pear, but one of Daryl's crude watercolors. But I can still clearly tell that's a pear, even on video. Yeah, you and I can, but we already know it's a pear. She could be remembering wrong or just identifying what, to her, is a more likely fruit to appear in a painting, based on any number of cultural, societal, geographic, you know. She didn't say anything in a response to help clarify? Let's see. Question. Please describe any sensations that accompany your memory of the pictures. It makes me think of being a kid. My mother gave me some mushed up guava once to cure a toothache. Not really, just some sensory memories on guava. I guess we should just skip the pictures. That's a shame. It's really hard to measure memory degradation in some of the later tests without this one as a baseline location updating scenario. I've been saying we should just use photographs. Watercolor paintings already have the quality of a half-remembered dream anyway. Like they're inviting you to forget them. Or somebody else already forgot them for you. Like a mama bird feeding her chicks cotton candy. Photographs are... It's not that they're really more accurate or true, but we think they are. They put you in that mindset. They have authority. So, yeah. Out with the watercolors, I say. But then poor Daryl would have nothing but nowhere to exhibit his work. Jen makes a noise. Jen, look who it is. Oh, I missed that kitty. I forget what became of the white one. Her name was Coconut, and she disappeared without a trace. Oh, did she go? What if, Junebug took her? Easy come, easy go? I wouldn't say easy. I had to leave food on the desk for a week before she'd come inside. She only stuck around for a month or two. You probably saw quite a lot of her. I remember you were working nights then. She was a nocturnal creature. That's right, I remember. I mean, you can only access this place via boats, right? So she must have jumped on one of them. Oh, she took it. I thought she was gonna ring a bell or something. Wait. I don't remember this test. Oh. Did we cut this one? What's the questionnaire like? No, this is just... Sometimes if I can't make it in for a few days, I might leave a note to feed the cats. For the test subjects? Wow. How'd you know they'll do it? I write it on, university letterhead. Jen, that is unethical. At least I don't use university property and research equipment to make weird video art. Very well, then I contradict myself. I wonder which is the nobler transgression. I'll settle that question. It's nobler to feed kitties. Just getting the test subjects to feed the cat so that somebody will. All these fake rooms. Puts you in a headspace. Doors? Screen doors? Creaking? Oh, okay. This is before the CD players. I hope she remembered to rewind. They never did, and Dara would be in all night rolling all these tapes back one by one in his little Walkman. He still has that thing. He says he uses it at the gym, but I think he's just too attached to his old mixtapes. He's so sentimental, our Daryl. These tapes had sounds from my apartment building. Did you know that? Oh? I thought it was stock sound effects from the library. Yeah, the CDs are. But when it was on tape, Daryl had me borrow a tape recorder from the music department and go collect them myself. He showed me a first draft of the questionnaire. I think some of them are still in there, like... What were you thinking about immediately before listening to this tape? I was thinking about my friend. After the tape ended, how quickly did your thoughts return to the subject? I never really stopped thinking about it. Right. I don't really get the point of that question. I think it's just there to set a baseline for the introspection index. So all the doors opening and closing, those are all from your apartment? Most of them, yeah. Others are from the basement. We have these rows of storage closets down there. None of them are locked or anything. It's just like this weird row of doors. They're not even marked or differentiated. You have to keep count as you go and remember which one's yours. Mine was number 8. I went down there a little tipsy one Sunday cleaning, a few glasses of wine. Anyway, I accidentally opened number 9 and it was full of mice, like, for a computer I mean. They were all neatly arranged on shelves, organized by some inscrutable quality, cables tied with Velcro. The neighborhood mice hoarder. A collector, I think. I guess he lived next door. I told Daryl we should add a question, something like, while listening to the tape recordings of doors opening, if at any point you have an expectation or visualization of what might be on the other side of those doors, please write it down. The last door, it sounded like a kitchen door. I was just curious, I guess. Since it was for my building, like, I have a strong sense of where those doors lead just by hearing them. But is that just from my memory, or is it inherent in the sound somewhere? Interesting. You should write a grant proposal. Oh, I wouldn't want to step on any toes, University politics. Oh, here's another extended monitoring tape from the waiting room. Busy night. There he is again, sleeping. Where do I know him from? He's gonna drive me up the wall. Does he work at the university? Oh, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I think he might have worked there a long time ago. Maybe when I was an undergrad? Ah, the Paleolithic. I thought he looked a bit rugged. That's right, Jen. I went to college during the Stone Age. What was your major? Fire. I don't think he was a professor. Maybe staff? It's been so long. Sometimes I wish I'd just barreled through like you did instead of taking time off before grad school. I'm sure it was the right thing to do at the time. Yeah? Or the only thing. I was such a mess. Did I ever tell you about that? My boyfriend died suddenly in our last year of college. Oh, poor thing. It's okay. It was a long time ago. But yeah, it really shook me up back then. He was studying astronomy. We were both really into experimental music. We took a few art classes together. That's so sad. Sorry, never mind. No, it's okay. That's the thing, actually. I mean, that's what shook me up about it. It was just this random accident that never should have happened. And so sudden you never could have seen it coming. He was back home visiting his parents and he fell off a roof. Damn. I know what you mean. You can't predict that kind of, what'd you call it, freak accident kind of thing. My psychiatrist says that's why I'm such a pessimist. What if it is Mimi Lysette's daughter? Like, is it that specific? I mean, no, I'm sorry, was Mimi previously dating Lysette's son, I meant to say, I guess. Well, I think you're remarkably upbeat, all things considered. I mean, the thing with your boyfriend on the roof, but also what happened to that TV station. Acts of God, you think? No, I mean, that's what you call it. That's what you say when it's nobody's fault. I don't think I believe in that. What? Acts of God. Yeah. But there has to be a word for something completely shitty when something completely shitty happens for no reason, right? I guess it's kind of Archaic. Jen flips through the questionnaire. First, please use the blank space below to describe your general feelings about television. If you have difficulty summarizing your emotions succinctly, or have too many different feelings to fit in the blank space, you may also use the back of the paper. I probably spend too much time watching television. You were asked to watch several videos. How many of the videos did you watch? All of them. Speaking of the TV station, you were saying something earlier about that other Marquez girl. Oh, right, I was talking about Weaver. Yeah. What exactly happened to her? You said she left on weird terms. Yes, well, so, actually she just stopped showing up. That was pretty normal. It was all volunteers, right? Community television. Yeah. People didn't really give much advance notice. They just got bored and drifted away. It was more like an art project than a job, for most people. Weaver Marquez helped manage the archives, like filing and sorting old tapes of broadcasts. I think she was pretty smart. She probably could have been more help fixing equipment or something, but she seemed content just organizing tapes. Nobody ever talked to her much. So when she left, no big deal. But then a couple months later, we started getting bizarre interventions. She died. She started appearing on the tapes. At the beginning of the video, you were asked to make a note of the memory from earlier in the day and associate it with one of the objects on the table on screen. Which of the objects did you choose? The empty bottle. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? Not the same one, but another sort of like it. Someone would be doing a show during their normal time slot, then suddenly the feed would cut. We'd still be broadcasting, but our signal was totally jammed. Oh, like interference? I mean like total blackout. Then this video would come on, clearly shot in our studio at some point, and it was her, Weaver Marquez. She'd be standing in the middle of the studio facing the camera. Spooky. You were asked to make a note of a fond memory from childhood and associate it with one of the objects on the table on the screen. Which object did you choose? The folded map. Was this object present on the second on-screen table after the camera passed through the doorway? Not the same one, but another one sort of like it. It's a bit fuzzy in my memory, but I do remember the sound. This awful hum. Like that was how she did it. She made a hum so sinister it drove our signal into hiding. The video began with footage of the outside of a building, and then entered the building. Was it day or night outside the building? It was night. When the camera exited the building again, was it day or night outside the building? It was day. Then there were these on-screen captions, exactly the same every time. I don't remember what they said, something creepy. Wow. Is there something I'm supposed to be able to do over here? The camera passed through several doors with inscribed labels. Please write down the sounds you heard as the video passed through the doors with the following inscriptions. Travel. A diesel engine, idling. Nourishment. A sort of clink, like coins falling into a cup. Sleep. A fire burning. We had a title maker at the station, but it was a different font. I guess she recorded it at WEVP and then took it somewhere else to add the captions. I don't know. We all did a lot of speculating about how she made the video, why she made the video. Yeah, why not just broadcast it normally? It was community television, right? Couldn't be any worse than the naked banjo guy. Yeah, exactly. Some people thought it was a protest or something, but I know she didn't have anything against the station. To me, it felt kind of urgent. Like she would have done a broadcast through the proper channels, but something came up. A crisis or something. The video began in one room and passed through the doorway into another room. In each room, a piece of music was playing. Was it the same piece of music in both rooms? I wasn't listening to the music. Was the music in the first room optimistic or pessimistic? I think it was optimistic. Was the music in the second room optimistic or pessimistic? I think it was pessimistic. How often did that happen? A lot. Dozens of times. It went on for years. We even thought about asking the police to look into it, but it's so hard to locate a pirate signal. I mean, it could come from any direction, you know? It's all just waves. Exactly. The camera focused on a table, passed through a doorway, then focused on another table. Which object present on the first table was also present on the second table? The picture was too blurry to make anything out. You should have these VCRs professionally cleaned. I'm writing my number on the back of the page. Weaver's video showed up again right before the flood. Actually, I think it might have been the last thing ever broadcast. Like she was haunting and foreshadowing this big event, the death of the station. Okay. Location updating effect on emotional memory. Subject is measuring near the edge of the usual range for her standard units of melancholy. We may need to reject this data. This test is so hard to interpret. They're too confused by this point, plus it's hard to account for ambient boredom from the last test. Can we just write too confused and go on to the next one? Damn, this is taking a while. Daryl will be so heartbroken if this is the only box we get through today. The poor thing. He is like a paper butterfly. I would say a moth. Didn't they call Junebug a paper butterfly? Well, she's not one, specifically.